Welcome to the Fans of Fitness podcast, a voice for fitness, health, and wellness professionals. The National Personal Training Institute of Arizona.
Legit instructors teaching you.
No, enough of those bad reps. The good quality trainers that come out of the school.
Let's get into it.
Yarania.
There you go. You got it.
First
Yarania.
shot.
Yada, yada, nia.
Graduate of the National Personal Training Institute, current student at ASU, and
Yes.
fitness coach.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? Haven't seen you in a little while.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. I'm doing good. I'm doing really good, actually. Just staying busy with school still, building clientele. But yeah, can't complain. I'm doing great.
What are you taking at ASU?
Clinical exercise science.
Clinical.
Mm-hmm.
What is that?
It's, it's kind of just like, it's very similar to kinesiology. It's just like a different branch of it, and it's more focused on like exercise science rather than just like all of kinesiology. I don't know. It's just so confusing. They have 3 different majors. There's also a sports performance one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's clinical, does that mean you're actually out on the floor?
Yeah, we do a lot of like just in person, like, I don't know, everything's hands-on there too. So
Oh, good.
mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe Kelly knows what it is. Kelly, you know
Maybe
what it
she
is?
does. I don't know.
Do
I'll
you?
defer for the moment. I do. So clinical sports science is more like if you're working in a clinic, like a physical therapy clinic or something, and you're more of a an expert. You could do lots of things. You would, man, the understanding is different. It's more of a science base versus just being a trainer or. It is very much hands-on in that sense.
Right. It can be like an undergrad to be like a physical therapist or occupational therapist, all of that. It's just very similar to the other 2 majors. It's so hard to differentiate them.
Okay. I didn't know
Yeah.
there was different branches.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what have you been up to since you graduated?
Just school, building clientele, building my business, and just really trying to get my name out there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And how's that going?
It's going really well, actually. A lot of like new clients are from referrals of friends and family, pushing on social media. It's been great.
So,
Yeah.
you didn't go to a box gym at all. You're independent from the beginning, right?
Yes.
Nice.
I was going to. I thought about it, but I don't know. I really think that I can just push being independent on my own because,
Yeah.
it's just, you just have to put the work in. And I think that I'm capable of doing that. So I just stuck with it, and it's working out well so far. So,
Right.
yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Yeah. Like we mentioned in class, just keep at it.
Right.
Don't slow down because
Mm-hmm.
things will slow down. So you got to just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what is your business name? I forget. It's on my water bottle, but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, it's called YLift.
YLift. That's right.
YLift
Yep.
LLC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. You got
Mhm.
something else going on too. It's is it called Girl Gains?
Girl Gains. Yeah.
Girl Gains. Talk about that.
Yes. So Girl Gains is an all-female weightlifting club at ASU, and they just founded it in November of 2022. So it's very new. It's barely about to be a year old at ASU. It was founded by a girl named Brielle. She moved, and now I'm helping Caroline. She's the president, and I'm the vice president. So between us two and a couple of other exec board members, we run the club, and we do different events. Like yesterday we did kickboxing, and next week we're
Oh,
going to OPT. And just like the purpose of the club is to like set a safe space for women to feel like comfortable lifting, because for the longest time weightlifting was very male dominated, and I feel like just in the recent years it's become more like common for women to be weightlifting.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in schools. You look at colleges and in high schools, typically the gyms are reserved for like the football team or the
Right.
baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd have women's sports like soccer and lacrosse and whatnot, and they would get like a fraction of the time in the gym as opposed to the men because the programs are bigger for men. But what would happen is the women would get left out of it, and they wouldn't get the training they need to play their sport safely and without injury.
Right.
So that hopefully that's there's a change to that in the last few years. It seems like there is. We talk about soccer players, for women especially. They don't get enough time in the gym to work out and to gain that potential to take it out in the field and to not get injured. But I think for the last couple decades, when you look at men and women as far as injuries go on the field, women by far have more injuries. And I think it's a big problem is that a reason is because they don't get the same time in the gym as the males do. So
Yeah.
So
definitely.
how many people's in the group?
So there's 4 of us on the exec board, and then I want to say there's like maybe 200 girls
Oh wow.
that's in the club on the group chat from what
wow.
I know. Yeah, there's a lot of girls, but it's been really good. Like just being able to network and meet different just journeys and lifestyles, because some girls are more into like the wellness side, and some other girls might be more into like the weightlifting side. So just being able to see like different journeys and different interests, and we're able to like accommodate for all of them. We do different events. It's really cool.
It's great to build that relationship so that you can have someone to go to the gym and work out with and not be by yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
It's actually really cool. We recently did Swolemate pairings. So we had the girls fill out a form and talking about like their interests, like when they work out, where they work out, and we paired all the girls with
Oh, wow.
someone. So
That's
they have
really cool.
someone to work out with, which is really cool.
that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Call
Yeah.
it Swolemates. Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw you guys working out in the gym a couple of weeks ago. There was 3 or 4 of you together
Yeah.
working out. So
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. Because I'm a transfer student, I started at MCC, Mesa Community College, and then I transferred over to ASU. And that transition was a little difficult just because when you first go to like university, you start as a freshman, you get involved, you're in the dorms and all that type of stuff. So when you're transferring over as a junior, you're like, I'm kind of already later in the game of college. I feel like, what's
you didn't
the
get
point?
that first little experience of being a
getting
freshman
involved
there.
and stuff. Exactly. So last year I wasn't really involved, and I'm like, I just have a year and a half left, like whatever. And then this came across, and I was like, whoa, I got to do this because I love lifting and just like being with a group of women. So when this came around, I interviewed to be part of the exec board, and now I'm just like, I feel very involved, and I really enjoy it. I really
Cool.
do. Mm-hmm.
Are most of the women from ASU?
Yeah, it's just all ASU
Oh, it is,
girls.
all of
yeah.
them?
Mhm.
Cool. So none of them have been to OPT yet, huh?
So 2 of them did.
2.
Caroline, the president, and then Jules. She does like all of our merchandise and like apparel and everything. I took both of them
Oh, okay.
about like a month ago. It was awesome.
Did you guys get in the sauna on the ice bath?
Mm-hmm.
They
We did
did?
breath work. Yeah,
Was
we
that
did
their first time?
Yes, it was their first time.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
What did
and
they think of that?
They were like pretty shocked, to be honest, like how they felt about everything. We did the breath work.
Yeah.
We did sauna and ice bath, and they're like, wow, that was awesome. Like I want to come back again.
Right.
Yeah, and Joey's been really great. Even Serene
Mm-hmm.
too. They both been really great, super welcoming, and they're like, yeah, come back, please, please.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a welcoming space for sure. We'll be going back there this term. I
Awesome.
already warned our current students
Yeah.
about that and what that's going to look like and how to prepare themselves for
yes,
contrasting temperatures.
yep, that was something else. Did I tell you that when I went back with the girls, I stayed the whole time, the 3.5 minutes? Did I tell you that?
No.
Yeah, I stayed because the first time we went, I only stayed in for a minute.
You and me both.
The ice bath. But the next time I did the
Yeah.
3 minutes, 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stayed in the whole time.
Wow.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know how I did that, but I did it. It's super
Yeah, I'm
cold.
so glad that I think I went last when we
Yeah.
went there. And I think it was you and one other person lasted a minute. And I was like, oh, thank goodness. Because of the day class, everybody
Yeah.
in the day class lasted 3 minutes.
Really?
Everybody.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't do it that day. I was like, no, I got to teach night class too. And I don't have any dry clothes. And that was my
Mhm.
excuse. And it worked. I got
Right.
out of it. But then, of course, I had to do it with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to bring the what is it? Girl games? That's right.
games.
Oh,
Yeah.
How did I forget that? I'm excited for them to see what that's about because I think it's really
Yeah.
powerful.
No, I agree. Just because I feel like I've always known that wellness and recovery is very important, but not until actually going is when I was like, whoa, no, it's actually really important. And I'm trying to explain that to them. And they understand, but I don't think they'll really fully understand until they experience it,
Yeah.
which is kind of what happened with me.
Yeah, I don't think anybody expected
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't think anybody expected for that cold water to be as cold as it was. And I
No.
don't think anybody expected that
No.
dry sauna to be as hot as it was.
No,
I've been in saunas before, but I've never cranked it up that high. And I've been in.
What's,
That
what's
was
the heat?
very
How
high.
hot is
It
it?
was 190.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we were 190, and then the ice bath was 32. In fact, when we were there, Joey was chipping the ice to break it up before we even got in.
was,
We were
yeah.
in the sun, we were in the dry sauna looking out there, and he's got an ice pick breaking it up. And I was like, okay, that's probably 32 if he's breaking up ice.
Yeah.
And yeah, it went
How
last
long,
because
how long do you stay in the sauna?
we were in there for 15 minutes. We had an option to
Yeah.
go 18 if we wanted to.
15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the 15-minute point, I
Wow.
was like, you guys
Yeah.
can stay, but I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
That's a
I
long
think I
time
stayed in
the sauna.
until the 18 minutes, but it
Hmm.
it wasn't too bad. I prefer that over the ice bath.
Yeah.
And then you go
Yeah.
into the ice bath and your body
Mhm.
just cracks.
Well,
Pretty
there's
much.
The skin just cracks
Yeah.
because it's
well,
from hot to cold like that.
Yeah.
we had to give it about 3 to 5 minutes before we
Mhm.
went in. We had
Oh,
to go
okay.
out and rinse off
Yeah.
Right.
before we got in the ice bath. So yeah, it gave us a little break before having to plunge in.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
I haven't done it yet, and Kelly hasn't done it, and we both are like, nope.
No,
Not
you
gonna
guys
do
gotta
it.
do it.
You must experience this.
You
I was
have
talking to
to.
Kelly about it the other day, and
Yeah.
she's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Come on, Kelly.
Well, it's really interesting that you were talking about the necessity for recovery, especially when you're, working really hard, doing heavy lifting, or for me, I'm working on I'm a triathlete and I'm working on a big race coming up. And man, if you don't recover well after working
Yeah.
so hard, you're not going to perform well. And it's not so much about, feeling better and that stuff. It really is about performance.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta do it.
I don't know that I can do the ice bath, though. That's just,
No, that's you just getting in your head.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You said you don't
Josh,
think.
you
I have a hard
it.
time. Kelly can tell you, I have a hard time getting in the pool when it's 95 degrees outside.
Sound like my mom.
Jeez.
Yep.
It helps with resiliency, man.
It does.
You know?
Same.
Be
Mind over
resilient.
matter.
Yeah, exactly. Just breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
That-
will be.
That water's cold.
You will be when you get in that. You'll be hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's worth it though.
And shivering.
Yeah,
And blue.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
And blue.
Yeah, maybe a
Partly,
little bit.
little purple.
Yeah, that's. I get in the pool now. If it's 105 degrees outside, I get in the pool and my hands are numb. They're so cold.
What?
I'm telling you, it doesn't. Kelly can tell you, man. I get in there and I'm just like, oh, I'm
She's looking at you like
freezing, I
you're
gotta
being
get out.
dramatic.
He's not being dramatic. Well, I mean, he is. But he's telling the truth.
I am. It's just man.
Man.
But he is weird,
That
so.
cold water, and I used to do it when I was a kid. Used to do it a lot. I didn't bother me at all. But
Hmm.
you
In
know,
the
I'm
cold
just
ice creeks of Tennessee.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
being out here in Phoenix for so long, I think I just acclimated to the weather, and
Maybe, yeah.
Hmm.
but it's cold.
Yeah.
So how does it feel after you've graduated and stuff? I mean, like, do you feel like you learned a lot through school?
Oh, yeah.
And
Absolutely. I learned so much. I mean, before I even learned about NPTI, I was just going to do NASM online by myself, and that did not work out well. You have to really sit down and focus, and it's just hard for me to do that by myself online. And because I always have questions, I want to ask people things, and that's just the best way for me to learn, just asking people questions and doing things hands-on, and you can't do that online. So when I came across to NPTI, I was like, this is perfect for me. Like, this is what I need, just hands-on learning and having an instructor there that I can ask questions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everybody has to start somewhere, and a book isn't bad,
Right.
but you just don't learn how to do anything. You just read about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about. I use this analogy quite a bit. It's like
Mhm.
if you could be an auto mechanic and get plenty of practice before you start, taking people's cars and fixing them, would you
Mhm.
go that route, or would you read about it and go, "Hey, I'm an auto mechanic. Bring me your car,"
Exactly,
and then try
yeah.
to figure it out? I think you just get a better running start and an advantage by going through a school like ours and getting that hands-on training.
Absolutely.
And quite frankly, what's in a book is maybe 10% of what we teach overall, because you don't learn all the other things that we have brought to the program to make sure you guys are ready
yeah, absolutely.
once you get out the doors.
well, just even talking about the movements and stuff like that. The book can't watch you and fix what you're doing wrong. As we do
Yeah.
in the school with
Yeah.
hands on. So
Absolutely. And just like having instructors there, like guiding you through it all. I mean, when I was trying to start my LLC, like I asked Josh, what are the steps? And he helped me with that. I was able to start my LLC. He told me, all right, now you need an EIN number for a business account. Like he was able to walk me through those steps. Whereas if I was probably trying to read a book, it would have been confusing.
yeah,
Yeah.
So
thank you.
yeah, so definitely helped me with that for sure.
It was pretty easy to incorporate your business, right? To an
Oh,
LLC?
yeah. Yeah.
Easier than you probably thought it was?
Way
I think a
easier.
lot of people overcomplicate it.
Oh,
Me included.
absolutely.
When I did it, I was like, really, is it this easy? This is all I have to do?
Yeah, and you know what? I think the thought of it's just very intimidating. So it's just like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. But then once you actually sit down and read it and do it, it's so simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the new class started this week, our new term. So yesterday was my first day teaching, and
Yeah.
Joseph in the class we were talking about kind of going through everything, and Joseph was like,
Yeah.
how much does it start a business? Isn't it really expensive? I'm like, oh man, it is so expensive. And and everybody was kind of like, oh man, really, how much?
No.
And Nathan in the class is an older guy that's been doing business for a long time, and he's
Yeah.
looking at me like,
No, it's
and I
not.
go, it's $35, and everybody goes, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, starting LLC, it's $35.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Nathan goes, in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that want to go independent in this industry, that's one of their big hurdles. They don't know what to do, and it really is quite simple, and we try to make it as simple as we can.
Try to go through as much as possible,
Yeah.
and in the short amount of time that we have, and because every aspect of it is scary to people.
It
like,
is,
oh my
yeah.
God, how do I pay myself? How do I pay taxes? How
It's
do I,
intimidating.
so we go through each portion of that. So
Yeah, and the other thing is like, what should I have for a merchant account?
Yep.
Should I use a bank? Should I use Stripe or Square or Venmo or and PayPal and all these
Yeah.
other? There's pitfalls to all of them because some of them take, a percentage of each charge, but you just have to know that it's a write-off, that interest at the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of write-off, but people don't even know that either. So, if you're an independent trainer and you go walk into Dick's, guess what? That's your uniform.
yeah,
Yep.
It's write-off.
No, it's awesome.
Don't go too crazy because there's a cap
Right.
to that.
No, absolutely.
So
But
are
yeah.
you using software to manage your customers, and like what payment systems are you using?
Yeah, so I am with like my in-person, because I do in-person and online. So I use Trainerize for my online clients, but I don't use the payment on there just yet. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that. But right now, Zelle is probably like the best thing, I think, because I can just transfer into my business account, and it's just easier to manage that way, I think, without the fees and all of that.
Then you have your business account connected to QuickBooks.
No, I don't have QuickBooks just yet. I know you told me to get that. Yeah, but yeah, everything just goes straight to my business account, so then I don't touch it. And I just like let it be, and it's been working great so far for me.
Cool.
Yeah, because there's
That's
no
awesome.
fees with Zelle.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zelle's kind of created by the banks
Yeah,
to do for that. So
it's very user friendly. I like it.
And they don't take 3%.
No, they don't.
Yeah. So what other things have you been doing to grow your business since you got out? I mean, you said
Yeah.
networking, referral, you said social media. How's all that working?
Yeah, so everything is mainly from social media, just marketing myself on there, trying to make videos, posting on my story, posting my clients that I'm training. I also have shirts, so I was like selling some shirts too. I'm wearing one right now with my logo
there
on
is.
it. Yeah, so selling shirts and just like doing the little things,
Yeah.
to try to like put my name out there. When I do these events with Girl Janes too, I network with a lot of people and I meet people from there. And just, hey, I'm a personal trainer. Like if you know anyone that's interested in training online in person, a lot of clients are coming from referrals of friends and family too, which I'm very thankful for. So I have a really good support system. So I feel like a lot of my clients is coming from that.
That's awesome. Yeah, we mentioned it. I know Josh has, and I did too. While you were in, is networking is so crucial.
Oh yeah,
You can't
absolutely.
just expect people to come to you.
Nope.
You've got to get out there and you've got to network. You have to talk to people, make those connections. And what you're
Yeah.
doing is exactly what you need to do. A lot of trainers they're afraid to network. They don't know where to begin, and it's just going out there. It's just reaching like for the school. I've reached out to just about all the guest speakers that we've had. I've reached out to them on social media. I've seen a post. I'm like, hey, they're local. I like
Yeah.
what this person's talking about. Let me reach out to them.
Absolutely.
And then from there, just morphs into what it has. It's like Sky, NKT. I reached out to her when I first came down here to put the school in.
yeah.
Jason from 365 Gym. I don't know if you were there for that one.
Did he do the agility?
Yes.
Yeah, I was not there,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Yeah, you're the night class.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Renee and Luis and Alan from Fit Body Boot Camp. Those are just from networking.
Yeah.
And it's helped grow the school and bring in components that we weren't able to offer in the beginning. And that's the same with independent trainers. You
Yeah.
just network, and now you can create feeders. Like we talk about networking with chiropractors, the licensed massage therapists, because they don't do what we do and we
Yeah.
don't do what they do. So now we can create a pipeline for each other and help each other out by helping our clients with
Definitely.
services that we can't provide.
Absolutely.
And that's what a lot of people miss out on. They think it's all about social media. Well, if you're going to be working in a particular demographic of an area, you need to network in that area.
Definitely.
So get out there. You know, it takes that first step. Some people are afraid to take that first step and you know, create that conversation, but you have to do it. The more you do it, the more easy it gets.
Yeah. It's hard at first, but I feel like a lot of like my networking skills also comes from just having parents who are entrepreneurs and having a business and being around that and learning like how they run things, how they network with people, being part of like the Mesa Chamber of Commerce, like all that type of stuff. Just getting yourself out there. Like, yeah, it's scary, but that's what gets your name out there, and that's what's going to bring the business. So I'm very thankful for that too.
Yeah.
I tell the students all the time, don't be afraid to tell people what you do.
Yeah.
Get a big water bottle, and on the outside of the water bottle put, I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And then find a gym that's really close to a Starbucks and go sit at Starbucks with that big water bottle on the table while you're working on your laptop doing social media, and see how many people come by and read your water bottle and stop and talk to you.
Exactly.
You'd be surprised how many people leave the gym, go get a coffee, or get a coffee before they go to the gym, and they're like, oh, you're a personal trainer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It works.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, a lot of people are thinking about that. You know, like, man, I need help. I don't know what I'm doing, or what I'm doing is not working. I need to get in shape and all that sort of thing. And sometimes that's all it takes is just a visual, the label or something that's written on your bottle, like I'm a personal trainer, for them to go,
Yeah.
hey, so what about this personal training thing? You know, that's I picked up clients at Chase Bank in Portland just by getting a business account. And the gal that was in charge of the business accounts, she asked me what I did. She obviously is going to know because I've told her the name of my business. And then she's like, hey, are you taking on clients? Yeah. And a week later, she's in there working with me. And then her boyfriend, like another week after that.
Yeah.
I've picked up clients at grocery stores just by wearing my
Really?
shirt. Yeah,
Yep.
because I have a shirt too, or I did when I
Yeah.
was in Portland
Right.
with my logo and name on it. And it was a logo that just basically said what it was. You know, you look at it, you're like, oh, it's something to do with the gym. And then you see the name of my business, which was Pinnacle Fitness. And you can put two together, and then oftentimes, you know, just comes, you know, hey, excuse me, are you a personal trainer? Yeah. Yes, oh, I'm wearing that
Yes,
shirt.
I am.
Yeah. And then, you know, have that business card ready to go. I mean, you don't have to have that now. They've got the tap, the business cards. You can tap the phones. I don't know what it's called, but
Really?
yeah.
Haven't seen that.
It's like an airdrop. You airdrop your business card.
RFID chip that just taps the phone.
Oh, that's what it is.
I gotta get on that.
And you can do QR codes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Yeah. So cool. That's working. I've seen you a little bit more busy on social media, which is good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm
So
trying-
people have reached out to you on that?
Yeah. Yeah. I have people reaching out on social media, or people that I haven't talked to in a while too, which is interesting. Like you get random people from like, I'm
High
not
school.
that old, but yeah, high school.
Yep.
From like high school, or you know, just like old groups and stuff. Like, hey, I see you're a personal trainer now. Like, I want to train with you.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, really? Okay, awesome. Let's do it. Yeah. I'm always very excited for people who want to train with me. And I always feel very grateful that like people trust me with, you know, their health and just helping them with their goals. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah. And
Makes me
part of
feel
that is
good.
because you've gained the trust just by being on social media.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't like it. I don't like it. I despise it, but it's a necessary evil as an entrepreneur to do it. Unless if you don't want to, again, it goes back to the grassroots effort in your community. You can do it that way without being on social media. But if you want to be able to help more people and expand your business, then you have to be on social media.
Yeah,
Right.
with that group that you have, the Girl Gains.
Yeah,
is that what
Girl
it's called?
Gains.
200 people collab with each other and share, you know, tag each
Right.
other in Instagram and stuff like that. And
You know?
I mean, that's a huge.
Yeah,
That's a
anytime
huge
like I post
opportunity.
stuff, our Girl Gains account always shares it. They're always very supportive, and they share like, "Hey, she got her, she graduated with her diploma, her certification. She got this." You know, always just promoting me too, which is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you and someone else in the group can collab,
Right.
and you tag her in the thing, and she tags you on hers.
Yeah.
You know,
Just
that-
helping
that
each other out.
expands it a lot. So.
Yeah, definitely.
So are you on TikTok too?
No, I'm actually no.
What?
No, I don't know how to use TikTok,
Oh,
honestly.
me neither.
Like, I only go on there to watch videos and send videos. I don't make anything on there because I don't know how. Instagram's a lot easier for me.
Oh, I'm so used to the Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah,
I just,
Instagram's easy. Yeah.
I just got on TikTok like 3 weeks ago.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm going to create something.
Yeah, they just have too many options, I feel like, and it just makes it too much.
A lot of really cool options, as I found out. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not too bad if you make the videos and then put them on TikTok. Because you
Oh,
can even do it
okay.
through your computer. Like, I just sit there and just drag and drop some from the podcast here into TikTok. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
You guys
that's
have a
right.
TikTok?
Yeah. Josh made one for the Fans of Fitness podcast.
Oh,
right.
okay.
And I just started up with the National Personal Training Institute's
Nice.
TikTok. I don't
we just
have
have
time for
we
it,
have
but
so many videos from the podcast
Yeah.
that TikTok will only let you upload 10 a day.
Really?
Yeah, and then it stops. It won't let you upload anymore. And so I upload
Interesting.
10, and then I'm like, all right, I'll do 10 tomorrow, and I forget. And then 3 days later, I'm like, oh man, I got to upload 10. So I go in and upload 10, and then I'm like, oh, I forgot, because we
Yeah.
have 200 or 300 videos like already. So
Wow.
like
shorts.
pieces, little
Yeah.
shorts
Yeah.
of pieces of podcasts. So
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah,
You'll never run out of content. It's a lot.
there's a lot.
it's a
Yeah.
lot. It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have any plans for any their certifications and stuff like that? I know you said you were in school and stuff like that, but like any outside CEUs from nutrition or anything like that,
Like anything additional with ASU?
or even just in like like kettlebell. You get kettlebell through
Oh,
the
just
school
like
and
additional
stuff like that,
education
right?
and stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to do NKT.
You do?
Think I do, but
There
I
you
think
go.
I'm gonna wait till next year,
Okay.
just because, as is that course, I already know is gonna be a little overwhelming.
You have a lot already.
Yeah, and I already have a lot with school, and so I think I'm gonna wait till next year to do that, or maybe when I graduate. I don't know. There's no rush. I forget that I'm still really young, and I try to rush through things.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But maybe in the next year or two, I would love to be able to do the NKT course.
Yeah.
Just further my education. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah, Travis and I are young too. We're like,
You're right.
yeah, that's cool. NKT is really, really interesting, and the stuff you learn
Yeah.
from that is just amazing. I mean,
It's just like finding things to make you unique, because I don't want to just be a personal trainer. I want to be a personal trainer that does a lot of things. Like I want to provide different services
Right.
and make myself unique
have
to
you
the
been
market.
doing have you been doing PNF and stuff like that?
I want to start adding PNF again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should.
I think I'm going to join the class a couple times here and there just to freshen up. But I was doing some with my sister earlier this week. She's my client in person. And I was doing some hip flexor stretches with her.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, why am I not doing this?
Yeah.
She's like, this feels great. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, even if it's not a client that you're personal training,
Right.
you could still have them as a client just doing PNF after
Yeah.
their workout.
Definitely.
Because some people are like, I know what I'm doing when I'm working out, but
Mhm.
you can't stretch yourself. I mean, you can,
Right.
but not as well as someone else.
Not to the
doing, like-
degree that you can.
Yeah.
With
right
PNF.
with PNF.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Have you been
Yeah.
doing foam rolling and myofascial release and stuff like that on clients?
And not on clients. For myself, yes.
Yeah.
But I haven't done it with clients. No, I want to start incorporating more of like that recovery stretching aspect with clients. I need to get a table because I want to start doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things that this is the week one of the new term.
Mhm.
And on Monday, you kind of start off the way that we always do, talking about, what the industry is like
Mhm.
and seeing what people think it's about. So I'll go around the room and I'm like, what is personal training to you? And a lot of people think it's just being out in the gym, assigning sets and reps to clients, when it's so much broader. There's so many avenues you can go down with your
Mhm.
education. So you're not just a personal trainer. You're a coach. You're a fitness
Mm-hmm.
coach. You've got all these tools at your disposal. So like PNF stretching.
Mhm.
Not many trainers know how to do that.
Yeah.
Not many trainers are very good at kettlebells or
Mm.
suspension, or
Definitely.
most trainers don't know what NKT is, and that's a very
Mhm.
very useful tool to help people get free of pain in many cases, or add
Yeah.
performance on top of what it is that they're doing. So
Definitely.
there's all these different avenues you can go, and we want to make sure that everybody knows it's not just about assigning sets and reps. It's so much more than that.
It's way
And
deeper than that.
like
for
when I
sure.
went through the school 15 years ago, I was the same way. I'm like, what's a
Mhm.
personal trainer? All I see is them in the gym floor at, say, like an LA Fitness,
Right.
standing around and pointing at machines and saying, hey, go
Mhm.
over there next. We're going to do this or whatever. That, to me, that's what I thought it was. But it is so much more than that. Like
Yeah.
you can get into things like Eastern medicine. You can get into,
Mm.
like a holistic coach. You can be a life coach. There's lots of things you can add to personal training. We've had the last 2 terms, there's 2 or 3 people that came through that were already life coaches. And Jennifer, one of our instructors for nutrition, she's a life coach as well.
Yeah.
So that just helps round out your education so you can help more people. I mean, I think that's what it's about. I would be bored if I just had clients for the last 15 years come in. I'm like, yeah, lift that a few times and then put that down and then go lift that a couple times, put it down. And that's boring.
Yeah.
We can help so much more than I think what people think.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you did a show or a couple shows, right?
Oh, yeah. I did a show earlier this year. Yeah.
Earlier this year. Do you have any plans to do any more shows?
Yeah, I want to do another one next year. I haven't picked a show date or anything, but yeah, I competed in my first show earlier this year in April, and that was quite the experience. It was awesome.
Was there a certain category or anything?
Yeah, it's wellness category. Did it through OCB. It's a natural league, and yeah, I did that in April. I really enjoyed it. It's not easy, but it was very rewarding. Yeah, it's kind of got me a little bit into the interest of like being a personal trainer and helping others too, just like going through my journey, like my transformation and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. How did you do?
In my class, it was my first show. I got 5th, but it's fine. There's room for improvement. I honestly wasn't even expecting like anything crazy, but I was just thankful for the experience and thankful for everything that I was able to learn about like myself physically, mentally, spiritually, everything. And I'm excited to see what the future holds and see the improvements.
Yeah. Who was your coach?
Adam Santos.
Adam Santos. Shout out to Adam Santos.
He is awesome. I'm glad we brought him up. He's great. He's a great coach. Taught me so much.
Yep.
I think between like what I learned from him being my personal trainer, and with NPTI, just like the two of like the experience and the knowledge and just hands-on learning, like between the two, I feel very solid as a trainer.
Good.
Which I'm very thankful for. Yeah.
Were you thinking about becoming a trainer before you started working with Adam?
Yeah, I wanted to, but that's when I had it through an ASM, and it just like kind of dwindled just because I didn't have like the drive to do it online on my own, and I wasn't understanding, so I just kind of gave up. But while I was training with Adam, that's when he showed me NPTI, and that's when he introduced you to me, and we kind of started talking about the school, and it's like, this is perfect. This is what I need.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing with, I was talking to students yesterday about as a personal trainer, you're not only showing them how to work out and giving them a workout, you're also there to motivate them and to push them,
Absolutely.
And I think that's what you get with the school too, is like if I opened a book and was like doing it online, I'd be like halfway through, I'd be like, yeah, this sucks, and finish, right?
Yeah.
But with the school, I'm like, oh, I have to show up every day. I have to show up for class, and there's someone there that's
keeps you accountable.
Right.
For sure.
And I think that's a big, big difference between learning online or in a book and being in the school.
Well, we've had at least a dozen students come through that already had a certification.
Oh, yeah.
But they're like, I don't know what I'm doing. That's why we're here.
I hear that commonly, too, from like other friends who get certifications online through NASM, ACE, or whatever else. They still feel like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to start. Like, yeah, I finished this certification, but what now? There's no like steps on how to move forward from that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that just NPTI brings something different.
Yeah.
For sure.
We also get a lot of students that come through that had trainers and didn't know that they would be, as passionate about it as they are, just by being, with a trainer and seeing the passion that they have and seeing the results that they're getting from having a personal trainer. Like, when you look at trainers, like if you go to a commercial box club or commercial box gym and you go to like a place like the Gym Mesa, they're different trainers. There's
yeah, for sure.
And not to say that all box gyms have like a lower, level of education, but when you have a lot of people in there like Adam Santos, who to me I look up to because I think he's one of the very best I've ever seen. He's never stopped learning. He's very, very, very passionate about what he does.
Absolutely.
And he cares, and it's written all over his face. Where a lot of times when you go to a gym, you don't see that passion in trainers. You see like, oh, this is just something to do for now.
Yeah.
But we do get quite a few students that come through that had an experience with a trainer, and they're like, I want to be able to do for other people what my trainer did for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's kind of what I look on, is just how Adam trained me and like what it did for me. And I want to give that to other people too. And it's really cool because I was talking to him earlier this week about how I've been, like, I'm very excited to be a personal trainer, but it can be a little scary too, because you want to give the best to your clients. You want to teach them, give them the knowledge they need, and also the results. And I was talking to him like, I'm nervous that, like, what if I don't deliver that? And he's like, no, I've been watching you. Like, you're doing good. He's like, if you weren't, I would have told you. So hearing that, like, is awesome. Like, I feel great hearing that, just because I know Adam's just credibility, just him being a very good trainer. And I told him too. I told him, well, if I wasn't good, it would be partially your fault because you taught me a lot of stuff. And he just kind of laughed. But hearing that from him was very cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So who's your ideal client? What's your ideal client?
So I'm open to pretty much training anyone, but a lot of the people that I've been gravitating to is like women in their 20s, 30s, I would say. Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
that would be more or less your niche.
Yeah.
That's what we would primarily
I
work
think
with.
so, yeah. I'm open to training anyone, but I think just to find my niche and just keeping it, I guess, simple per se, is just sticking to women between ages of like 20 to 30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a bad idea in the beginning to
No, not at all.
take on anybody you can help,
Mm-hmm.
but also, after a while you're going to know who are you passionate about helping.
Yeah.
Not to say you don't want to help everybody else, but
Mhm.
who energizes you to help.
Right.
We talked about this on Wednesday. I was like, start thinking about a niche. Who's your ideal client?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to energize you?
Yeah.
Because there's, some people, they want to work with elderly people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to work with children.
Mm-hmm.
Some people want to work with 50-year-old women,
Right.
30-year-old women. It's all over the place who you can help. But I
Mhm.
think sometimes it does take a little while to figure out who your ideal client is.
Yeah.
So once you establish that, then that's what you can really focus on.
Yeah.
Because if you're a trainer that says you can help anybody, you kind of become the jack of all trades. But there's a
Right.
lot of demographics with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Where if you were to, like, say, with you want to work with women between 20 and 30, that's narrowing it down. And what it does is for those that you're speaking to on social media or wherever, you're saying that I work with 20 to 30-year-old women.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people who are like, oh, that's me.
Yeah.
So you're actually speaking to them instead of I talk to
just
or I teach
everyone.
anybody or I can train anybody.
Yeah. Makes it a little bit more personable. Like,
Mhm.
hey, 20 to 30.
Yeah, and that becomes
Mhm.
your specialty. You
Yeah.
understand what that demographic's going
Mhm.
through, and if you get obviously more education on that demographic,
Mm-hmm.
it's like women. I've already told this story, but I didn't know what my niche was. It just turned out that most of my clients were between the age of 35 and 65-year-old women, and I had to
Mhm.
learn a lot about hormones. I'm like, why are
I
most of
remember
my
you sharing that.
clients women?
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, I need to learn more about hormones. So I did.
Yeah.
And I could understand a little bit more as to why, women in their 40s and 50s have a harder time losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, oh, it's hormones. Okay.
Right.
It's also a few other things as well, but that made me have to study up more
Yeah.
and understand why some things weren't working and how to get around those weight loss
Definitely.
goals. Yeah.
Yeah. So what's your Instagram and stuff like that? What social media do you have, and what's your handles?
Yeah. So right now, I just have Instagram. It's YLiftAZ. I think eventually I'll warm up to TikTok. I gotta start learning how to use it. But
Yeah.
for right now, Instagram's like my main. So just social media. Is
LinkedIn.
I actually don't have LinkedIn.
You need to get.
You should have LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will work on that too then.
Do you have a website yet?
I don't. Well,
You have a-
technically, yes, if I have a domain, right?
Not really.
Because no,
Yes,
If you have a
Josh.
Because
domain, I mean, it doesn't mean you have a website, but
but don't you purchase like the rights of?
you have a domain,
It's like having an address but not having a house.
right?
That's
Like there's my piece of
Okay.
there's my piece of land. I can't live there because there's no house. So-
Right. I have the address, just not the house yet. So yeah.
we do have
Yeah.
a landing page on our website, nptiarizona.com.
I do.
So if anybody wants to hire Yarania.
There you go.
You can go to our website, mptiarizona.com. We also have a lot of other coaches on there that are willing to help as well.
Yep.
Now, you started, it sounds like we're winding down here a bit, but I want to get back to you were working with your dad for a long time, right?
Yeah.
What was the name of that business?
A&M Graphics.
A&M
I still
Graphics.
work there part-time.
You do?
Yeah.
What did you do there?
I just work up front. I kind of just like manage the shop and just project manage, and I'm just mainly up front, taking in orders, managing the projects in the back. I kind of do everything. You know, when your dad's like the business owner, you get handed everything. So
Yeah.
I do a little bit of everything.
So what do you guys do there?
We do vehicle wraps, banners, business cards, anything advertising for a business, pretty much.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to make sure we get that plug in there.
Yes. A&M Graphics.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I think that has been like another very helpful thing too, with just like starting things up for myself is we have an in-house designer, so we have like logo creation. So I was able to get my logo from there and just any business cards from there, and it's just been helpful, decals and all that.
Sweet.
Awesome. Well, it's good to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I had
Good
fun.
to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know it's been a little bit.
Couple weeks, I guess.
Yeah.
3 weeks, 4 weeks since the last term.
Yeah.
I saw you working out in the gym. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just saw her Wednesday. I was in class, and I'm like, you know what? We've got a vacancy for Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I walked out. You're trying to hide
I
from me.
was, because I saw your face. I'm like, he's going to ask me something.
Yeah. I was like,
Run.
hey, we got an opening Friday for a podcast 11. Want to be there?
Yep.
Yep. You're
I
like,
was like, Okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't say no to opportunities. I'm
Good.
one to jump on it. So I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Yep.
It's
Even
scary,
though
but I'll do it.
Even if it's scary, now that
Yeah.
you've done one, they're not that bad, right?
They're not. They're not.
All
Yeah.
the cameras and microphones
I
pointing
know.
at
I'm
you.
just trying not to look at the camera.
Yeah. Got Kelly over here staring at you.
I know. It's okay. Kelly can stare at me.
Watching you, always watching.
That's okay.
Yeah, Kelly was the anatomy instructor last term.
Yeah, it was great having Kelly. That was your first time, right?
Yeah, that was my
Doing-
first time
okay.
instructing for anatomy. It was
She
a
did
lot of fun.
awesome. She
I
did
heard.
awesome. Yeah.
I heard.
I took anatomy at ASU last year, and it was okay, but just the hands-on, once again, like being in the classroom and, you know, going through the motions of like doing a movement and knowing, okay, what muscles are being activated and all
Yeah.
of that. It was awesome working with Kelly. She was great.
Thanks.
Cool.
So if you're going to be in the night class, you'll get Kelly. She's awesome.
Yep.
Well, cool. This was fun. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anybody wants to work with Yarania, you know where to find her now. Tremendous coach, graduate, alumni. She knows what she's
Great
doing.
personality.
Thank you.
And cool. Let's wrap it up.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.